Basically, right now I'm working on the intro part to the music. There's still a lot of issues with the actual
It was 2008, and a young artist named Rob had a growing obsession with making music. He had begun to record and put together enough songs to create a demo album. He intended on pitching to record labels. As he was finishing the album, he had one song that felt more like a Broadway duet than a regular song. He decided he should get someone else to record the song with him. It just so happened that he'd recently met a talented singer named Brittany, whose voice fit the song perfectly. After asking friends and peers whether or not having Brittany join the song was a good idea, they all unanimously agreed she should be included, and Brittany herself was eager to join in as well. So the two went ahead with recording the one song as a duet. The album was released in January of 2009, and very few people would listen to it. That didn't stop Rob from continuing on his path, however. He began doing small live venues where his college friends would show up to cheer him on. But small shows and his own marketing push weren't working. So he decided to enlist some more help, once again, to get his demo album more exposure. Rob got his older brother, who worked as a Hollywood cameraman and producer, to help him shoot a promotional music video.
Put your head in front of the sun. Forward just an inch. Here? Just a little bit more. Perfect.
And I lost myself in your arms.
With this new music video in hand, Rob sent his music to anyone and everyone who would listen, mainly through the most common music sharing platform of the time, MySpace. Everyone he showed his songs to kept focusing on the song with Brittany, rather than the song he had made the music video for. With the main focus of his demo album being the song with Brittany, Rob realized he needed to reassess the strategies and sound of his music. He decided to enroll in school part-time for the upcoming fall semester, to put a more intense focus on his career as a musician.
Brittany and I are actually going to record the whole album over. I have to basically start over. She's going to be in all of it. My brother just drove down and did a photo shoot with us. It's looking pretty good.
After thinking it over, Rob would ask Brittany to join his music project as a permanent fixture, and Brittany agreed. They would spend several weekends re-recording Rob's old songs as duets, as well as including a song Brittany had written herself. And in changing from a solo act to a duo, the group name After the Tone was born. After the Tone would release their first and only album in November of 2009. It was designed as a proof of concept to pitch to record labels and sell as demos at small venues, as well as to share with friends and family. Much like the projects that had come before it, this one was met with silence. That was until May of 2010. Summer break had begun, so Brittany was in San Francisco and Rob was in Los Angeles County. Rob had been pitching the After the Tone album to any A&R he could get contact information for, and as summer began, a representative from a major label said that they were interested in the project. They wanted to schedule a time to meet Rob and Brittany in person to discuss terms.
Hey Brittany, I'm sure you saw I called you a couple times, but something with that project happened. It's really big. I can't really talk about too much. You know, I'm not allowed to say point, but it's all good stuff. So we could talk about it. But coming up, like in a week, like a really big thing. I need you there for. Yeah, just get back to me. I can fill you in. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Brittany never answered the phone. And ironically, the band named after the concept that these songs were recordings left after the tone as voicemails to someone you cared about more than they cared about you was relegated to a similar fate. Rob would interpret Brittany not returning his calls as a deliberate act of sabotage from her, and the two wouldn't speak again for 11 years.
When I was young, I thought the ocean was blue. Before I knew it was just illusion.
Brittany would go on to continue her music career, traveling the world with her a cappella group, exploring various music-related occupations, and holding no ill will towards the After the Tone project or Rob. Brittany would spend these years never knowing about the record label. She thought the pair had simply lost contact. You see, Brittany had made a habit out of not listening to voicemails, and in fact, her voicemail box was often full, and she would just delete the messages and worry about getting back to people later. From Brittany's perspective, herself and Rob were two friends who did a fun music project together. However, when Rob didn't return to school the next year and moved to Indiana, they lost contact, a common side effect of growing up and growing apart. However, as for Rob, he toiled with growing feelings of resentment and self-loathing. Rob didn't tell anyone about missing out on the record deal. He was ashamed and would move across the country to Indiana to finish school, making up various reasons and excuses for why he wanted to move so far away. Rob had interpreted what had happened as Brittany blatantly ignoring him for reasons she didn't want to disclose. He spent many sleepless nights trying to uncover what he could have said or done that would have made Brittany want to dismiss and reject him.
Hey guys, this song is called Journey Called Life. It's basically the last song I'm going to put in any sort of public forum.
After swearing off doing music professionally for several years, Rob would return to a music career in 2018, creating a masked and villainous persona known as We Skeem. We Skeem was an extreme representation of Rob, delivering satirical commentary and controversial songs. This counterculture brand shot Rob to heights he had not seen before, and We Skeem would garner millions of streams and views and thousands of album sales. In 2021, Rob decided to make an album titled After the Tone, to detail what had happened in 2010. In that album, he wrote songs about what had transpired, as well as some songs that were cutting, rude, and aggressive towards Brittany, expressing the hatred, pain, and the malice he had developed over the years towards her, or at least his idea of who she was. Before releasing the album, however, he was persuaded by his community to face his fears and confront Brittany to get her side of the story, and in doing so, would find himself in a phone call that would change both of their lives forever.
Hello?
Hey, how are you?
I'm good, I'm tired.
Yeah. So I guess I'll just get right into it. I really do. I want to apologize for what happened 12 years ago.
Rob and Brittany would spend the next 2 years cautiously healing, renewing an old friendship and understanding each other as people and artists. Brittany facing her failures in communication and what it may have cost them both, and Rob facing his failures of insecurity, assumptions, and his own fears of rejection. And after 2 years of mending old wounds, they would finally open the door to an idea that had been lingering on both their minds for a long, long time.
Might be about to have a big conversation. We started this Friday. She was tentatively interested. Hey again. So you've had time to think about it. So I'm gonna ask you again. Do you want to make an album?
Yeah, I do. I think we might as well. Why would we not?
I don't know. I think we got to. So I want to talk about some of the fun stuff so far as my plans for this album. I can stop recording now. Thank God.